Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be on the new NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop Full Coverage Foundation. I've got it in the shade Fair, which I think is the third shade out of the lot, and this costs $14.99 in dollars. I bought it from the NYX US website, and I also bought the primer to try with it, and it is the mattifying primer. This was $13.99. I had like a discount code as well, and it's also not available in the UK yet. So as I'm doing this video, it's a Sunday, and I think the foundation is going to release in the UK on Tuesday. So we'll be putting this video up on Tuesday. So not 100% sure on that. NYX have been very vague about it, and this foundation did launch in August for the US. So this foundation claims to be full coverage, matte and 24-hour wear. Obviously I'm not going to test it for 24 hours because that's, you know, never how long I would wear a foundation for. There are 45 shades. It's a fully inclusive foundation. This foundation also claims to be 100% transfer proof, which I don't think a foundation could ever claim to be that, but we will try that out later. You can hear a dog outside. There's a dog absolutely going berserk. I don't know what's happening to it, but we're going to carry on anyway. So I'm going to put the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop primer on first. Now they do suggest, or I think it suggests, that you put it on with your fingers and use like tapping and swirling motions. And it just has a little seal on, which is cool. And yeah, we're just going to put that on all of my face. Not going to do like half and half or anything. So that's actually taken a really good squeeze, and the primer is only just like coming out. It's a little bit weird in consistency, and it just looks like this. It's kind of like this weird formula. Not exactly silicone, but yeah, it just looks a bit weird. Okay, so I've put the primer on, and can you see that dent where I had to squeeze it to get it out? It's like a really stiff product, and when I was putting it on my face, it kind of, it was fine to do it, and then all of a sudden it kind of got really stiff, as if it was really set into my face, and my face actually feels a little bit tight in areas where it is, you know, stuck to it. So I'm hoping good things from this, because it's a little bit weird. So I do also follow Ariel Hope here on YouTube. So as well as being a YouTuber, she also works for NYX, and she has said that with the primer, it also helps the foundation not to oxidize. So I'm not sure how it can do that, but you know, we'll have a look at it. So the only other NYX foundation I have is the Total Drops foundation. Just looks like this, and this is in the shade 3 Porcelain. Now this is in the shade 3 Fair, so you would expect maybe them to be a little bit similar, but these are the swatches against one another. So this is the NYX, this is the Can't Stop Won't Stop, and this is the Total Drops. And I don't know how well you can see it, but the Total Drops is actually a little bit darker, and it definitely has oxidized. So yeah, that's the comparison between the two. I wouldn't assume that because you're a third shade in one foundation, you're going to be the third shade in another. I would suggest that you do get matched. Okay, so we'll be applying the foundation today in two different applications. I'll be using the very dirty Real Techniques blender sponge on one side of my face, and then I'll also be using this Primark. It's like a 3D like kabuki kind of thing. This is the foundation blending brush. This was £3 and it's really good. So I'm going to try putting it on my face, on one side of my face with this brush. Okay, so that is the brush side. I did find it a little bit hard to blend. I don't know if it's because it's setting really quickly, or whether it's just the primer, or even if it's the brush, but it's something. It's, you know, it's not melting into my skin kind of as I was expecting it to. So I'm now going to try on the sponge side. So definitely a lot easier to blend on the sponge side, and I feel like I've got more coverage on this side than I have on this one. So I'm going to try layering it up and to see if it layers and if I can add a bit more coverage. Put some more foundation on with a sponge, and I kind of feel like I didn't get a lot more coverage on my cheeks, and I put some on my forehead, so I did get a lot more coverage on there, but I don't know how well you can see, it's kind of like stuck in this really weird patch here, so I'm not sure what that is, and it's blended really funny here. It just looks really weird. I don't know if it's clinging to some dry skin or what, but it just won't blend out. It's really weird. Yeah, so not great first impression. I don't know, maybe if because the primer and the foundation are really matte, your skin has to be really hydrated. I don't know, but yeah, it's not blended that well on my nose neither. I've got like this kind of little line where it's kind of gone a bit funny. So on the website this is described as a cool undertone. I don't think it's cool at all, and if anything there's some yellow in it, but that is something I have heard about this foundation, that people have said, you know, it is described as this undertone, but they don't think it is that undertone. So I haven't put any powder on yet. The foundation's literally been on my face about 5 minutes and it does feel dry, like it's really weird. It's kind of set really quick, and I can actually understand what they mean then maybe by that transfer proof, because nothing's coming off on my hands. My face just feels really dry. I've never felt anything like it before. I mean, if I could, you know, work out the problems with it not blending that well, this might actually be a really good foundation, because there's nothing coming off on my hands, and I touch my face a lot, you know, I'm always like leaning on them and stuff like that. So yeah. So I'm going to finish up the rest of my face and go about my day, and then I'll come back and check in later. It's around 12:15 now, so I'm going to give it at least a 7 or 8 hour wear, so we'll check in later. Hey guys, welcome back. The time is now around 7:20. I can't remember what time we did the original check-in, but it's been at least 7 hours of wear that I've had this foundation on for now. So the foundation is not oxidized at all. It looks exactly the same as it did around 7 hours ago. And one of the claims about this foundation that it was transfer proof, so I was, you know, intrigued to see about that. And it really is. I keep touching my face kind of in disbelief that it is so dry. I haven't put any powder on my face today, and I have a combo kind of skin with like an oily T-zone, and it's not budged. I haven't needed to say with a powder, so I'm really shocked. There's hardly any oil coming through on my face, just a tiny bit here, and normally after around this long of time, you know, trying a foundation, I would have a lot more oil showing on my T, but nothing, and it looks exactly the same as when I first put it on. The only drawbacks I found with this foundation that were when I was putting it on my forehead, it kind of set, I think it was, really quickly. So it's one of them products that you have to move quickly. Don't put it on your face and then blend it in. Only put it on your face when you're ready to do that section. I did put the Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer on today, and I didn't find it particularly layered that well over it. It was more work to kind of blend it into the skin. It kind of felt like when your concealer goes a little bit patchy and it doesn't look that great. So, but when I put powder on, it didn't look too bad, and it looks okay on camera now. It was just up close, it didn't look great. But other than that though, I think this is a really good foundation. I've been really pleasantly surprised. So the drugstore is coming out with some really good foundations. I really like this NYX foundation. I really like this new Revolution Conceal and Define foundation. I will link that video down below so you can see that one as well. So yeah, some really good foundations coming out lately. So thanks for watching this video today. Have you tried this foundation? Let me know. Let me know how it works for you. If you've got like kind of different skin than me, like if you've got dry skin, how does it work for you? Because I have heard a few different things about this foundation. So let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching, and I will see you again later. Bye.